Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 49. A dusting of snow Wednesday night. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 52.
When is the last time you considered your pet's oral health? Hi, this is Dr. Suster at Covenant Animal Clinic in Clinton. A pet's dental health is vitally important to their overall health. Learn about our dental services by clicking the Covenant Animal Clinic icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
By leveraging sustainable carbon management solutions like Navigator CO2's Heartland Greenway, ethanol facilities can make substantial progress toward carbon reduction objectives. Learn more on how they're partnering with ethanol producers across the Corn Belt. Click their icon at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show is Mr. Adam Clapp. He is the superintendent of Monticello Schools. Good morning, Mr. Clapp. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Good morning, Seth. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for making time for us. It's good to have you back on the program here for this morning. And if folks are swinging around the Monticello Schools area of your community, they are seeing a lot of work being done on that sports complex football field, particularly right now, Mr. Clapp. What's the update on the installation of turf on that facility?
Yeah, so right now we kind of have two fields going on simultaneously. So if you are looking south of the Wilkie or south of Kratz Road at the Wilkie complex, we are moving forward with our soccer field, which will be located inside the track. So on that field, that's kind of the primary project going right now. And the football field is the one that's kind of the secondary project going on. So the soccer field, we just finished drainage last week, just before the big rain. So it was kind of nice to, we finished the drainage inside the field, and we had that monster rain and kind of mix of snow on Friday. And it was good to see. The silver lining of the storm was that our drainage is working appropriately. So that was good. But we're probably 2 weeks away from turf install at the soccer field. So we're happy with that. Luckily for us, we've had a pretty mild winter. But in the last week, we've experienced every aspect of Illinois weather. So you know how that goes in the spring. So
yes, indeed.
You just never know how that's going to affect construction. But so far, we've been pretty fortunate. And, we're hoping we will be playing girls soccer games on the soccer field in mid-April. So that's good. And then from there, they'll just jump right over to the football field. They've already done the drainage at the football field, and they'll start stockpiling rock this week at soccer and at the football field. But turf install in 2 to 3 weeks at the soccer field. And then after they finish that, they'll jump over to the football field and do the same thing. So we're looking at a early summer completion for the football field.
So with the soccer field, Mr. Clapp, am I remembering right that is going to share with the track facility and the improvements there? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah. So this turf is being installed inside the track. So prior to this project, the field inside the track was primarily a practice field for football and a band practice field. Now it will be our game day soccer field. Our band will utilize that as well. Football will be there occasionally, but most of football practice will happen on the game field now, since we're not worried about, tearing up grass and things of that nature. So another item that is going to be going on, we have lights at the current track complex, but we are upgrading our lights at the football complex. And with that upgrade, we're going to be repurposing some light poles and repurposing them to the soccer field. So we'll have lights improvements at both locations.
So with the improvements like coming to the soccer field inside the track, how does that impact the track season coming up, or will that impact the track season coming up?
So we host a middle school track meet on April 10th, and work will be completed before April 10th. So right now, there is we call it the track bridge. It's where all the equipment goes in and out of the interior of the track. They built a track, like a bridge with, laid some plywood down and put rock over top of it, so the equipment can drive over the track without damaging the track. Right now, that's there. So in the next few weeks, they will remove that. And so we can still practice track out there, but we wouldn't be able to host a meet today, but we'll be able to host a meet in about three weeks or so.
There you go. Perfect. Very good. And of course, you were telling me with the football facility update is going to be some new light fixtures. I talked with Mr. Sheehan, Dan Sheehan, your athletic director, at the basketball home finale, I guess, that regional quarterfinal game on that Saturday. Mr. Sheehan is very excited about the new light fixtures coming to the football facility. Tell us about these.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to upgrade and provide a better lighting environment for games, on Friday nights, Monday nights, Thursday nights. But what I'm most excited about is being able to improve the lighting situation at the football field, and also improve the lighting situation over at the soccer field by repurposing some of the poles that we currently have at the football field. So overall, it's going to be a great project. I got a construction meeting about that later on today. But that project will start late spring, early summer, with install date to be mid-June. So we're excited that, some of these timelines, when you start looking at sports schedules and construction timelines, it's nice that the plan is to be wrapped up well prior to needing them in August. So the June 15th date makes my athletic director really happy.
No question. So as it relates to that project, Mr. Clapp, of course, once the spring seasons wrap up, primarily softball and baseball, of course, those are going to be receiving some attention. And I've heard the baseball facility already kind of has a different look for folks that may be coming out this spring. There's a line of trees on the south side of the fields that have been taken out. Just give us the highlights of those real fast.
Yeah, so that was the one debate we had during November, December, is what fields do we start on? And we decided that most safe plan was to start with football and soccer, and do baseball and softball in the summer. That way we wouldn't affect the seasons. So we'll start turf installation when the season completes at the end of May. Softball will start at the end of May and complete by end of June, mid-July, and then baseball would be going on kind of in concordance with that. So we're hoping that our junior high programs will play home games at those facilities next fall. As far as the work around the baseball field, the tree line that used to be on the south side of the baseball field. We went ahead and removed those trees. Some of them were pine trees that had died over the course of the last year or two. So those were going to be removed anyway. But when we looked at it from the standpoint of, just that overall facility, we removed those trees, and we're going to put, create a berm back there that'll be a little elevated space that, if you didn't want to sit in the bleachers, you can sit on the berm and watch the baseball game. So it's going to be a really cool facility upgrade that we didn't really think about until we started going out there and walking around and evaluating the space. So we think it's going to be a good upgrade for the entire facility.
No question. So looking forward to that. Now, just the ongoing work that's in progress right now, has weather been an impact at all this winter so far? I mean, you mentioned it last week alone. We saw just about everything Mother Nature can throw our way. But has weather been an issue at all?
So not really. So we've lost a few days. When we had the snowstorm in early February, we lost a couple days there. But those were, like, when we made the timeline, those were somewhat planned in. So, when we talked about mid to late April completion date of the soccer field, that was with the idea that if we had the worst winter we possibly could have, late April would be the worst case scenario turnover date on that field. So we feel like we're ahead of schedule. Now, you can't get a construction company to tell you that. They don't want you getting your hopes too high. But just going out there and meeting with these guys in our construction meetings, the weather has had little impact on progress. So I'm anticipating getting the field turned over to us earlier than expected, just based on the mild winter that we've had.
Yeah, no question. It's been as far as the weather goes, been a very good weather winter, very accommodating for outside work like this. So, Mr. Clapp, anything on those projects, the ongoing nature of those we haven't touched on to this point?
No, it's just exciting. Like, I think there's a lot of people excited to get to utilize the facility, and prior to, this upcoming year, we've not been able to share our facility as much as we'd like to. So we're looking forward to making it really a community asset and getting all of our kids out there, not only our student athletes, but, our elementary PE kids now have green space during the wintertime. Like right now, it's pretty muddy to go out for recess, so you can play on the blacktop. But now, once these turfs are installed, we have another area where PE can go outside and use green space, and so can elementary kids at recess. So the possibilities are endless when it comes to these facilities.
Yeah, no question. Very good. Mr. Adam Clapp is the superintendent of Monticello Schools, my guest on the phone here for this morning. Mr. Clapp, you were telling me before we got started, and I do not hear this often, so I took kind of note of this, that you are not looking for staff members right now. It sounds like you've got just about all your positions filled. What is going on here?
Yeah, so we talk about it all the time. If you read the newspaper, you're going to hear about the teacher shortage in the teacher. It's a crisis in Illinois, and that's a fact. Like, we have less teachers now than we did 10 years ago. And if you talk to any administrator, they're going to talk about the number of applications they get for positions now versus 10 years ago. And it's much less. But we're fortunate here that, it's just an odd year that we don't have retirements as it is right now. We don't have any open teaching positions as it is right now, but we're talking on March 6th. So there's a lot that can happen between March 6th and next August when it comes to, life changes. Spouse may take a position elsewhere and you have to relocate. So there's some things that could play out in the next few months. But as of right now, we feel we're in a great spot. And, I attribute that to Monticello is such a great place to work and to go to school. So teachers have a positive experience here, and that, plays out in the community and the surrounding communities. And that's, when people talk about Monticello schools, they talk about, quality education and a quality place to work. And so people want to come to work for us and work together with us. It's really nice. And I'm not too naive to know that we will have open positions. It just plays out that way later on in the spring. But when we do, we'll go out and actively pursue applicants, and we'll end up with a quality candidate and move forward. So, I agree there's a teacher shortage, but we don't like to just complain about it, because there's nothing, if you're just going to sit and complain, it's not a positive thing. So we go out and we pursue applicants and candidates and continue to make this a great place to work, and we'll continue to have our positions filled.
You mentioned you're not naive enough to think that openings won't come about. And, we were talking before you got started, as you evaluate, your staffing options, you also have to consider class sizes and those sorts of things, and watch the trends of, this grade level has, X amount of students. We may, consider, adding a teacher for this level,
Right.
to bring that classroom size down a little bit. And that's the case for one of your grade levels. How about that, Mr. Clapp?
Yeah. So, we're constantly looking at our class sizes, and we want to keep it there's no magic number. Like it doesn't, like when the class size hits 18, we're going to consider adding a new teacher. No, we don't have a magic number, but we want to continue to provide a great learning environment for our kids. So when you start to see class sizes get up into 20, 23, 24, 25, those types of numbers, we start to consider what our options are moving forward. And one of those things we've talked about at the board level is, we've had one of those years where we had a lot of move-ins in second grade, and moving forward to next year, we may have to add a section of third grade, but that's something we monitor every month. And so we could have a recommendation for adding a grade level or a section at a grade level based on those numbers. And we love that our community is somewhere where families want to move to. But knowing that, and knowing some of the new developments in the community, we have to be conscious and continue to look at our spaces in our classrooms, and understand that there may come a time where we have to consider adding a section at a grade level, or even looking forward to years down the road, is our space appropriate? So we want to continue to have plans in place if we have to renovate space for more instructional space, or even add on for more instructional space. So it's a constant conversation with our admin team, and even at the board level.
It's a good problem to have. It means that your district is doing something right, and your community is doing something right, that you've got, kids and families that are coming to your school.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I think it goes hand in hand. Great schools mean great communities, and great communities mean great schools. Like, we work constantly with the city to provide, information and share information with each other, and try to help each other out. And just know that when Monticello Schools is a place where people want to be, that's going to grow our community. And when our community is growing, our school's growing. So it's a hand-in-hand process.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, Mr. Clapp, I'll tell you what, let's take a time out here. We'll come back with some more. Mr. Adam Clapp is the superintendent of Monticello Schools, my guest on the phone. More to come with him on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and wheat all starting the day in the red. March corn 641 3/4 down 3.5. May corn down 4, 635 3/4. July corn 624 down 4. March beans opening up at 1527.5, down 3. May beans down 4, 1514 3/4. July beans 1502 1/4, down 3 3/4. March Chicago wheat starting this week 685 1/4, down 10.5. May wheat down 11 at 697 3/4. July wheat 706.5, down 10 1/4. May bean meal 484.10, that's up 280. May bean oil 60.57, down 62 cents. A look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. both in Clinton or Farmer City. We'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Here's owner Dave Jackson from your Clinton Save a Lot on how inflation is affecting all of us.
I peg the inflation rate on groceries at 20, not 8.
20%.
20 at least. And that is just a massive, that's, tenfold what it was back. You have to go back to the 70s. So this is the worst inflation in my lifetime. They say since 1980. I'm going to go back farther than that.
Despite that, Dave still provides you selection and savings at your Clinton Save a Lot. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hope to see you soon.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Mr. Adam Clapp is the superintendent of Monticello Schools, our guest on the phone today. And Mr. Clapp, you were telling me a little bit about an English curriculum review that you're going to take up here over the next year or so. Tell me about this. What's going on?
Yeah, so last year we reviewed our math curriculum K through 8, and we implemented new math curriculum this year, Eureka Math Squared. And implementing new curriculum brings some challenges as far as can we provide the support for our teachers to implement the new curriculum. It's a change in mindset, things of that nature. And so we went through a process with our math curriculum last year, where we involved our teachers, special ed teachers, administrators, to review new curriculum and decide what we were going to pilot. And we piloted it for a couple months, and then we chose to implement Eureka Math Squared. So we also needed to evaluate our reading and English curriculum K through 5 as well. And so this winter we developed kind of our English language arts and reading curriculum review team. It consists of teachers K through 5. We have 2 teachers per grade level. We have special ed teachers, interventionists, administrators. Our special ed administrators also involved. But really, the starting point was let's review what we currently do. And dive into, what are we doing well at the elementary level? What is working for our kids at Monticello Schools? And are there areas of weakness that we can support our teachers and our students? We feel like we do a really good job here at Monticello Schools in the classroom. So when we review curriculum and go through these processes, we don't need to go in and just scrap everything we do. But we really want to take a look at, what are we doing and what are we doing well, and review test data and really get the most cutting edge programs that are out there and review those. Right now, we started meeting in February with our review team, and we're really in the process of taking in and reviewing what we do and what we like out there. And one of the things that through the math curriculum update that we discovered was, doing it all in one semester is very fast and kind of can feel rushed. We do feel we had a great process with our math curriculum, but going through that kind of helped us plan for this reading review. Mm-hmm. So we're taking our time and reviewing what we do this semester. We will go into next semester, the fall of 23, and we should have a great idea of professional development that we need to bring in for our staff that could support curriculum that we currently have implemented, as well as taking a look at other programs that are out there and piloting some of those curriculums next year. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully through that process, we continue to provide support for our teachers and support for our kids. And if we need to make a change in curriculum, we would do that. We would have a recommendation this time next spring. Mm. But the most important piece for us is, getting that feedback from our teachers and what is going well, what's not going well, and then taking a look at surrounding school districts. We don't need to just exist in a vacuum here at Monticello Schools. There's other schools that do a good job too. So we're hoping to plan some site visits and meetings with, some of our comparable schools, Mount Zion, St. Joe, Unity, Merle, Forsyth, those schools that are have a similar mindset as us in their curriculum, and those that are doing well academically. We want to take a look at what they're doing too. That way we can implement positive change here at Monticello too.
Well, Mr. Clapp, I don't mean to do this to you. I've got to let you go here for the morning. That's Mr. Adam Clapp, Superintendent of Monticello Schools. Network News is now.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222 BG